4 million. He would owe 4 million in estate tax. Um, and I said, "Are you okay with that?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Okay, well, you could gift it now, get it out of your estate, and then just continue on, or at least a portion of it." So, within a 10-minute conversation, he saved $4 million in future taxes, estate taxes coming due just because he doesn't need the money. He gifted it to his sons who are managing the business, and now everyone's happy. So,
Yeah.
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 Not that the government doesn't need, trillions of dollars, let alone the million that he was going to give, but I think the family could probably be better stewards of that money than the government.
Oh, you mean the organization that hasn't passed a budget in like how many decades now?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know, that's just details. Not as important.
Yeah. Um, so the um the other thing you mentioned was insurance, term insurance. And yeah, it's like dumb it down because there's like all sorts of different insurances out there. And what should people be looking at as a bare minimum, business owners in particular?
I like to look at, well, for your personal family, I like to look at rule of thumb 10 times their salaries, just like a starting point. They might need less, they might need more, but rule of thumb, 10 times salary is usually a pretty good starting point. So you make $100,000, $1 million term insurance. Um, I like to get it for 20 or 30 years. Obviously, if you're in your 50s, that might be expensive. So at least 10 years, and that's on the personal side. Um, if the business own it, you get to write the premiums off. Although when you get paid out, that insurance is probably going to be taxable to some degree, depending on the manner it's paid out. What is it categorized as? But um, I think you should do it. I don't know why you wouldn't get, depending how much it costs. If your business is valued at 10 million and you have two partners and one's, $5 million, maybe that's a little much. Maybe you get 2 to 3 million, and then you just pay out the remaining money over X amount of years. It'll help with taxes a little bit too for whoever's getting the proceeds. You could do it that way. Or I've seen it where there's smaller size businesses that would struggle with the cash flow. So say it's worth 2 million, 2 million, 3 million bucks. Let's say 3 million. A business partner 50-50, so one and a half each. Maybe they get a $2 million policy. And if something happens to them, they would pay out the 1.5 million immediately, and then they get the $500,000 that they can put back into business for cash flow and to help hire some people for if they lost, a crucial business partner, um, that they're able to get up and running quickly with somebody, pay some good money to get somebody in there.
Hmm.
So just depends on the situation, but term insurance is usually the way to go. I've seen other people do whole life insurance or IUL, index universal life insurance. I if there's a need for it, that's great. I usually don't like seeing business owners buy that. It's expensive. So if you do it outside of that to build some wealth inside an insurance policy or build some asset up inside an insurance policy, that's great. Do it outside. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have a policy like that for a business.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's usually unnecessary unless they need it for, bonding or as an asset, like the cash value, they want to use that as an asset on the books, then yeah, that makes sense. But most businesses don't need to do that.
And high level, what's the difference between term and whole life?
Yeah, I like to compare it to houses. So term is like you're renting a house. You don't build any equity at the end of your stay. You don't have anything to show for it. So if you're renting a house, you rent for a year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, you pay all that rent due and you don't have any money, any assets. Term insurance, you have that insurance for that set term, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You pay the premiums all throughout. When that term is up, you're done with the policy. There's no cash value. There's nothing in it to show